Come one, come all, and welcome to another episode of Chronicles Reviews with the Less and Stealthy Ninjas. I am Scoot, the great and powerful, here with the wicked wizard of the dirty South. Not the dirty South, the dirty South.
Woo!
Cosmic Boss.
What up? What up?
Per the names and per me being disembodied, I don't have a cool little effect I can do. Boss is here to talk about Wicked.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Take it away, good sir.
All right. So, Wicked. If you haven't seen the movie, you know the property. I'll say that. Everybody, and their mama, their daddy, their grandma, grandpa, everybody has seen The Wizard of Oz.
At least I hope so.
Right. If you haven't, you were part of a cult somewhere, and I'm glad you got out. But go watch that movie. There's been a lot of different adaptations of this franchise. Wizard of Oz is the first one everybody thinks of, but and that's pretty much the only one that many people think of until this musical came out in the late 90s, early 2000s. And to give you a quick spoiler-free review of it, this musical is arguably the best musical of the last 14, 15 years. And
oh, wow.
One of the best movies I've seen this year. Like, from beginning to end, there is going to be awards all over this thing. Best actress, best supporting actress, like their music, score, production, costumes, like there's gonna be directing, there's gonna be awards all over this. And so far it's the movie of the fall. There's not and y'all were here when me and Scoot did Gladiator 2. I told him off camera, because I saw both movies the same night. I told him I thought Wicked was the better movie. And I gave Gladiator 9. Scoot, you gave it what, a 10?
Yeah, I gave it about a good 10.
Yeah, man. Like, this movie is just that good. Every song a banger. The acting, from the actresses to the actors, the story, the themes that it goes through. If you are, and I'm just gonna say it like this, if you are a person of color, doesn't matter which, if you are a member of any marginalized community, you are going to resonate heavily with this film. No matter what side in those groups you follow, you're going to resonate heavy with this film. If you don't, you are lying to yourself, and there are therapy services that can assist you. But this movie was a good 10 out of 10 for me. Like, the original Wizard of Oz is a classic, and it's everything, and it's a lot of people's favorite movies. This is right up there with that. Like, it's just this movie is going to be talked about for a long time. It's just that good. And
well, let's let the people know why it's so good. So I'm gonna let you run it down and give a overview without spoiling other characters.
Right. So, just to give you without spoiling any plots or any major things, there is the way this movie starts is with Elphaba's parents. She is not even born at this point. Elphaba's parents, they live in the I forget the town's name, but it's where the Lollipop Guild live, like the Munchkin Land. And her mother and father, they all lovey-dovey. Mother sees the husband off, he goes to work. She brings in her side piece, And it drops like just, that's where the story picks up. Like the story basically picks up. It starts with the opening song of basically after her having been melted by Dorothy and the crew. That's where it picks up. So it starts heavy. Like the movie starts heavy, and it's like it shows like the liquid on the floor, her hat, and like the things that were said about her and all this, that, and the other. And then the news starts spreading. They do a zoom out, like fly eagle-like type shot of, and then you pass by Dorothy, the Cowardly Lion, Tin Man, a Scarecrow walking down the yellow brick road, going back to the Emerald City. They end up at Munchkinland spreading news, and that's when the first song breaks out. They celebrating her death, calling her wicked and everything out of her name. And then Glinda comes by, the good witch Glinda, or as we find out in this movie, Galinda. And they basically point out, hey, didn't you know her? And she's like, huh? We went to school together. So, and that's when the story picks up. And from the moment this child is just, the moment Elphaba is born, the child of an affair, who is immediately after she's born, and the dad sees her. He doesn't know at this point. At least I don't think. They don't say in the movie. He's like, mother and dad looking at the baby, and he starts screaming, get it out of here, get it away. He start just, we don't want it here. The nurse named Dulcie Bear takes the baby and is like, it's all right, little. And Dulcie Bear takes it upon herself. Dulcie Bear is actually a bear, a talking nurse bear. And she takes it upon herself to raise Elphaba because the parents want literally nothing to do with her. She lives in their house, want nothing to do with it. And it shows little moments of her childhood with her and her little sister, the child that the parents actually like and love and adore, wheelchair-bound little sister. And it shows Elphaba has power. Like Jean Grey type power. And fast forwards, it time skips. And they go, and she and her dad, Elphaba and her dad, are dropping off the little what's her name? Something Rose. Nessa Rose. Nessa Rose in the story. Yes, there she is. Played by Marissa Bodie. They drop her off at the academy. And a whole lot of stuff happens. Elphaba gets an invite to join the school by Lady Marmaduke, or what's her name? Madame Morrible, played by Michelle Yeoh. Phenomenal job. Michelle Yeoh been killing it these past 4 COVID years. But and then that's when the story kicks off really, really big. Elphaba gets her first song, starts thinking about like everything she wants to do and be while at school. She gets forced to meet Galinda, and they forced to have a relationship. They clash, like the majority of this movie is them clashing until like the latter third of this movie. And there's some comedy in there. There's some drama in there. You gonna cry, you gonna laugh. Like it is everything that theater was. Like, like the two masks, both drama and comedy, is everything that you need in a story is in this movie. And these characters go through it. You meet other characters like Bach, who is the munchkin from Munchkinland, first one to go to school, always like trying to stand up on books and like adjust his height to meet when he meets people. Lets people know he's from Munchkinland. You meet Dr. Dillamond, played by Peter Dinklage, who is a goat, and he's a teacher at the school, and he even goes through some stuff. And it's like, and you see some we'll say hate crimes thrown his way. Like you see, eventually you meet Jonathan Bailey of Bridgerton fame, playing Prince Fiero, and everybody like meets these characters and interacts in different ways, and there's songs here and there, and like I said, every song in this movie is a banger because every time one pops up, it's moving the story along. It's not like, to put it simply, it's basically like golden age Disney, almost, in a way where, you know, though, when Disney started this golden age with Aladdin and Lion King, Pocahontas and them, the songs were about situations that were going on and they were moving the story forward. That's what every song in this movie was about. It is not just talking about some random thing or some random something. Everything had a purpose and it was done beautifully. Like I was, man, every single one of these songs is gonna have you emotional. And every time there was like a story plot point where there's like Elphaba getting invited to the school, getting chosen to be a pupil of Madame Morrible, or like befriending Dr. Dillamon, like meeting Prince Fiero, and then like it's so much happening in this movie to where and then like everybody has their arcs, and then even Glinda, when you meet Glinda, she is the one that's going to have you laughing the most, because she is such this high drama character that has been like gotten everything her whole life, to meet somebody who has gotten almost nothing her whole life, and they clash repeatedly, but you still like her. You still like her. And it's crazy how good they got along after just like because the way Glinda is set up is she's that person everybody knows that is, we could say, like a performative ally. Like, you know, like they give you a pat on the back, but they ain't really there to help in the trenches. You know what I mean? And then plot points happen. Eventually she comes around on all that. Not fully. I'm not gonna say that, because like, no, you ain't gonna crucify me in the comments. But no, not fully. But it builds and builds, and then eventually Elphaba gets invited to the Emerald City to meet the wizard, and played by Jeff Goldblum, who gets his own little song, and he does well too. Like, so I didn't think Jeff could sing, but you know, he did his thing. And everybody who knows the story of the Wizard of Oz knows the wizard has no power, but like no magic. Let me say that. In a world full of witches, talking animals, sorceresses, and other magic people, he is the most powerful being, but he has no magic, and nobody knows. That's his secret. So, and basically a whole bunch of stuff happens. They meet him, and the thing Elphaba has wanted like her whole life was to get rid of her green skin. Like I said, if you're a marginalized person of any kind of community, you're gonna resonate with some parts of it, or like with a lot of parts of this movie. And then they uncover some stuff. She changes her things, and she's like, you know, you can't be selfish. You can't want this, that, and the third. And then discoveries happen. I'm not gonna spoil it for you. I'm just gonna say go watch the movie. And then basically a whole bunch of gaslighting, a whole bunch of like turning and like a person into a villain who did no villainous acts. Like literally no villainous acts whatsoever. And that that last song, which is Defying Gravity, is where the movie ends, on Defying Gravity. Like, there's so much visual storytelling in that part. Like the struggle with them using magic. The flying monkeys are in this last third, and they come around and they have a little plot point as well. There's like her trying to use the magic to help a friend, and it's like she realizes she can't control it still, because that was the whole thing. She couldn't control her magic. And then one of the spells activates, and then that's when she starts to fly. And her and Galinda have this heart-to-heart, because they are now, like, through this whole movie, they were beefing. But, like, in the last, like, latter half to a third, they were, like, cool. They started to become friends. And then eventually they became sisters. And it's, like, it is a beautiful thing to see. And then that last part when she's like, because they were both at this point being chased, like being rounded up as criminals. And she was like, I can't go with you. We have to do something else. And that's all I'm gonna say right there. But man, look, this is like, I was shedding thug tears in this movie. Like I ain't even go front. There was multiple songs in this movie. Had your boy just weepy-eyed. So, like, this movie is just a 10 out of 10. The songs are great. The makeup is awesome. The costumes, everything about this. It's like it's just a well-done film. And it's part 1. So if you hear people say that, yeah, part 2 comes out next November. So it's going to finish up the story. But yeah, this movie, and there's so many little hints and things to other stuff from the Wizard of Oz franchise. Like, they throw it back to that original so many times. Like I said in the beginning, you see Dorothy and the rest of the crew at the very beginning, but then there's other throwbacks to them and others throughout the movie. And it is like one of my highest recommendations for you to go see this movie. I wouldn't recommend a musical. I have, of the musicals I've seen in the past 15 years, the only other one I would probably recommend you have gone to see would maybe be Sweeney Todd. Yeah. Not including the Disney musicals like Tangled and Frozen and Moana. But yeah, the live action ones, Sweeney Todd would probably be the last one. I didn't really like La La Land. Les Miserables is Les Miserables, and that is just dark and depressing. So, but
what about The Greatest Showman?
Oh, The Greatest Showman. That had good songs, but
What about Cats, though?
Look, man. Look, don't watch that movie. Do not watch Cats. Go, if you get a chance to see the stage play, watch the stage play. But yeah, man, this, like, everybody in this movie, the choreography, all, like, I ain't even mentioned that. The choreography in this movie was just amazing every time they were dancing. And like, there was so much, like, it is a feast for the eyes from beginning to end, and you will not be disappointed. Everybody in this movie carried weight. And man, shout out to Cynthia Erivo, because she is gonna, like, look, if you didn't know who she was before this, she gonna be everywhere after this, man. Everywhere. Like there's not many people that you could say, like, outsang Ariana Grande, which is, especially in the musical, you'd be like, okay, yeah, you cast a singer to sing. And anybody who has like heard of this movie before it ever came out probably saw some of the flack they got for casting Cynthia as Elphaba. there's been, because they, like, even the original actresses who were in the original musical on stage in Broadway, Kristen Chenoweth, who played Galinda, and
Idina Menzel.
Idina Menzel. I was like the Frozen girl. They were in this movie. They had a whole little musical too. Playing themselves as themselves. It was a little meta thing going on. And they were in here and just out, like, you could look up, like, Kristen Chenoweth's Glinda is probably an all-time great role, but there's been many different actresses to play Elphaba. Cynthia killed it. Like, like, to put it in better perspective, that, like, there was many different basketball players. Then came Michael Jordan. Like, there was many football players. Then came Tom Brady. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there were many race car drivers. Then came Jeff Gordon. You know what I'm saying here? Like, like, even the way she sings that note, that ending note of Defying Gravity, nobody else could touch her. Like, and we've heard Idina Menzel sing. Woman can blow. She ain't touching Cynthia. And that's crazy. Like, that is crazy to come this late in the game after so many iterations and recasts and just take it. Like, she walked into the room like Conan and conquered it. That's her role now and forever. That's it. Like, after watching this movie, Wicked Part 2 is one of my 3 most looking forward to movies of next year. It's one of my 3 most look forward to movies of next year. That's with all the MCU movies. That's with the Jurassic Parks and whatever else is going to come out next year. It's top 3 for me right now. I can't recommend this movie to you enough. I know we're late posting this review. Life happens, but go see this movie if you haven't already. Take the family if you can. If you can't, fuck them kids. Just go watch it with you and your spouse or by yourself. It is that good. Watch this movie. You will not be disappointed. 10 wands out of 10 wands, 10 wicked hats out of, like, there's, like, this movie is just that good. It's just that good. And so far, it's right there leading the pack for my best movie of the year. We'll see how it ends in later on this month, but go see Wicked. You'll love this movie. And yeah, man, classic, instant classic. I can't say enough good.
All right, there you go. So whether you loved it or hate it, don't forget to rate it. Thumbs up, thumbs down, preferably thumbs up. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you can be notified for all other CCRs, vlogs, taste tests, boss reacts, anything of the nature. Shout outs to Cosmic Boss for holding it down. You know, the Wicked Wizard of the Dirty South.
Yes, sir.
And
yes, sir.
Like he told y'all, go see Wicked. He say 10 ones out of 10.
Yes, sir.
And until then, ladies and gentlemen of the Ninja Village, thank y'all for tuning in. And we just trying to make y'all proud out there. Peace.